There you go.
Okay, hi, this is Craig Coogan again with Lift and Transfer Specialist, and we're going to do a little training session here and explain some things about the motor as well as how to lift up my client Peter here from his wheelchair. We're going to teach you how to put the body support on properly and almost as importantly as taking it off, but getting him positioned correctly deep in the chair so he is comfortable. Okay? We want him to be comfortable. This SureHands body support has several features. You see on the side we have what they call the cups, and the cups are shaped like a pair of hands. They're not flat, right? So these are what go around the chest and fit comfortably around the chest. Now Peter happens to have a pretty good sized barrel chest there, so we really want to get him further back on him and make sure they're gripping nice and deep around his chest so he's comfortable, not in the front of the chest. And we'll see that in a moment. Also, hanging from the body support, we have these two leg supports. These are called thigh supports because they go underneath the thighs. So you got the two cups and the two thigh supports. You've got the stainless steel bar that always faces this way in the front, okay? So that fits in like so. Here we have the hand control. The hand control has two buttons in this particular case because it can move quickly from left to right by simply grabbing a hold of the body support, and I can push that motor really easy and quickly to get him from the bed to the wheelchair. There's a hand control that hangs down from the motor, and there's a couple of important features on there. It's got two buttons, again, one to go up, one to go down. And if you go to push the buttons and they're not working, well, this is a wire that is pneumatic, it's air driven. So if by chance you pull it and it popped out, well, maybe that's why it's not working. So check that to see that those are plugged in properly. And there's a black line on here. You might not be able to see it in the video, but the black lines need to be pushed in together and correspond to each other. And if you don't do it that way, well then the down button will be opposite, and that's going to be the up button, and the up button is going to be the down one because you've switched them around. So it's not going to hurt anything if you do that. You'll just put it in the right way and it'll work the right way. The same thing's true up here at the motor. The other end of the hand control has the other plug end here. So if for some reason you yank on this cord too hard, you might pop that out. So if the buttons aren't working, check the hand control button and check where it meets into the grommet at the motor, and that should solve that problem. Alright, so I've got to push that back in, make sure it's going in all the way, nice and tight. Then there's two other cords that hang down from the motor. This one is a red one. So if again you're going to push the buttons and you don't see this working, well, what I want you to do is walk underneath the motor here. And if you look carefully up at the motor, there's a little green light. That green light should always be on. If you look under the motor and there's no green light, then it must have been turned off by mistake. And the way that you turn it on and off is with this red cord. If I pull down on the red cord, now there's no green light, the motor's turned off. You never have to turn it off unless maybe you're going on a vacation or you got to go to the hospital, and it would be safe to turn it off so the batteries don't run down. Otherwise, just leave it turned on all the time, which means you'll always see the little green light on. So here I'm going to pull on the red cord, turn the motor back on now. And it's just a little up and down button. The other buttons that are on the bottom of the motor, there's up and down emergency buttons on the motor built into it. So if you try and use the hand control and it's not working, and you check the position of the cord and it's in right, and it's also plugged in right in the motor, and it's not going to work, well, you can push these yellow buttons, see? And that goes down, and the other one goes back up. Okay, so obviously if Peter's in the lift, it might be kind of hard to reach those buttons, but they're there for a reason, right? They're your emergency backup. And then you have a final cord hanging down from the back end of the motor. That's an emergency down cord. So if both the hand control doesn't work and then those buttons don't work, and Peter's up in the lift, well, I can get a hold of this cord. I would wrap it around my hand, give it a nice hard firm pull, and with his weight in here, that's going to lower him all the way down back into the wheelchair or onto the bed. Okay? So that's your safety cord there. Very important tips. Now, if I pull the motor away from this end here, this is where the motor is going to charge. So up on the track, we've installed what we call the contact pins. And those contact pins have little springs on them. So when the motor is rolled into this position at the end of the track, you're going to hear that little scrape there, which means they're exactly in the right position for recharging. And then running down the wall somewhere, I'm not sure where the guys put the charger, but the cord runs,
this way.
Oh, okay, across the top of the rail, and it's over there in the corner, and it's underneath there, so we can see. Right now the light's orange, meaning that the track is charging up. There it is on the wall. Once it charges fully, it's going to turn to green, and it's fully charged. How long does it take? It depends how long it's been off the charger, or how many lifts a day you do, those kinds of things. So it might take a half an hour to charge. Maybe it'll take an hour or 2 hours, but not very long. All right, so now we're ready to get into some action here. Are you ready, Peter?
Ready, sir.
All right. So we take the motor, and I'm going to push the body support to go down, start getting it in position. Pull it along the track. And here's Peter ready in the wheelchair. So he's going to lift his arms up. And when I take these, they're going to go down. I like to have these cups on the body support nice and low when I start this, like right below the waist there. See how low that is in the chair? And one of the things you always want to watch for on your wheelchair is the fact that you've got your controller here. So you want to make sure the wheelchair is turned off so it's not moving when you're trying to do the lift. Right? So make sure the wheelchair is turned off. Peter has a seat belt, but we've already taken that off before, right? So we're ready to lift. We don't want to lift the whole wheelchair. So we've loosened the seat belt. But now that we've got these cups ready for lifting in a few minutes, the next thing I want to do is take the thigh supports. Again, here's the one for his right leg. So it's big and black. And we take that, lift up the thigh a little bit, and just put that here like so. So what's your hand, Peter, so we don't want to pinch you there. And there's a strap here on the thigh support, and the strap is an adjustable strap. In order to adjust it, you just push down on the little tooth, and this strap just pulls through nice and easy, okay? But what is really, really important, more than almost anything else here, is how long this strap is. If this strap is left like this, really, really long, then what's going to happen is the body support's going to ride up, and it won't close around his chest until it's way up under his armpits. And then it'll close, because this strap has to be tight in order for the body support to close. So we've already been testing this out. I like to use my fingers as my guide, and I've got 4 fingers. Here's my judgment for Peter, and we already know that works. So it's not too long, and that way when we lift them up, those are going to get tight right away, and it'll close around the chest real nice and firm and give a real good lift and no impact at all on the shoulder. All right, so then the next thing we want to do is there's a couple of blue rings here. They're rubber. They're very sticky, and they're designed to hold the strap so they don't slide around on here. If the strap slides around on the bar, then these leg supports are going to come up towards the knee, and everything will be less comfortable. So we really want to try to keep these further back and then behind the blue ring. So once again, Peter, arms up. Just kind of have it sitting in there like that would be fine. Same thing on this side. Okay, lift up this side. And on this side, we've got a different scenario, right? Because here we've got full-size leg. Here we've got the Stumpy, right, as we call him. So with Stumpy, especially your pet name, yeah. So we especially don't want to be having the thigh support come up to the front because it could pop off. But he's got a lot of nice weight here, so that really helps out a lot. And he's got nice firm tone on his legs, so his legs are not going to come up towards his chest. They're going to stay nice and straight, and that's what we like to see. All right, if I'm going too fast, you can replay the video and slow down and go over this a few times, because I know I'm telling you a lot of stuff. All right, now, in order to get Peter to come forward, first of all, I want you to look at how I'm sitting here. I'm not bending over and stretching myself, because this is important. We're going to do a lot of lifts. We already calculated that he's probably going to do as many as 14 lifts a day. So if you add that to how many per year that's going to be, 365 times 14 is about, 5,000 lifts a year. So if you think you can be bending over 5,000 times to do this, you're not going to be able to. So do what I'm doing. Get your posture right and make this easy for yourself so you don't get hurt. Peter's a strong guy, so he's going to help me here to come forward, and that's really going to make this a lot easier. So I'm going to grab his right hand, okay? Now I'm getting ready with the controller. So what I want Peter to struggle. So when he's ready and to come forward, and he'll tell me, okay, I'm going to push the button now. So now it's going to grip him right away. How's that feel around the back, Peter?
Very good.
Okay. So we'll go up just here gently, and let's look. Where is that position of those cups? You see that? He's got a big barrel chest. But this position is excellent because he's got most of the weight forward, Yes, he's got a slight angle here, but this is a really good position. And Peter already has been lifted enough times today to know if he's going to feel like he's slipping back or if it feels like it's right on forward. And what does it feel like right now?
Feels fine. It's very comfortable.
Could I have gotten it back more or less, or it's pretty good?
I think it's actually pretty good.
Okay, excellent. All right, so you see now the lift has got a buckle up here, and this buckle is specifically designed to allow things to rotate. And that becomes important because I want to be able to watch his feet. I don't want his feet banging into anything. Very sensitive, right? So I can be careful with that and rotate him as I need to get where I want to go. In the bedroom here, the lift is installed up high on the ceiling there almost. We've got a beam right from wall to wall. So we're at 8 feet height, so I can lift them really high. So if I'm trying to do any, if you're in the bathroom area, and I know it doesn't go this high, but like you said, maybe in the bed you're going to get cleaned up and stuff like that. Maybe you can now use the lift. You can put some, spread some sheets on the bed, or however you want to do that. Now you can wash better and clean up better and do all that because you're going to be exposed and it's going to be easier to get to you.
Right.
So consider that. Some of my clients do bowel programs, and they do it when they're in the lift.
Right.
Because it's just easier.
Yeah, this won't be going on Facebook.
Yeah, well, all right. It's free training,
Yeah, of course.
So, but certain people on Facebook would understand. You send it to certain individuals, and that'll help them,
Right.
learn how to use this, right?
Well, you might.
The other one was really good, so go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyway, there you are, nice and lifted up. So let's pretend I've taken you to bed, and we've done what we had to do. We've already done that video. So now I want to get you back in the chair. And the most important thing to me is to get you deep in the chair, back there where you're comfortable, not slouched and sliding forward. So how do we accomplish that? Well, first we've got you situated in the lift properly, right? Thigh supports are in good place. The cups around the side of the chest look great. Now I'm using my body mechanics again. So my left hand is open like this. Very important, okay? I can get a hold of his knee and just, at the front of the knee. And I know he's had a hip replacement or hip problem there, so I'm not going to be forcing that too much, but I can utilize this hand, and I use the same technique on the right side. I've got 3 fingers spread open because I have to hold the hand control. So I take these 3, and I do this on the front of the knee, so I've got really good position there, and I can operate the lift at the same time. So I bring him here close to where I need to be, and as I go down, I bend down with him on my knees, and now I can push back. Okay, so I can feel him resting against the cushion of the chair.
Yeah, I got all the way back.
And you're tight. You're in that chair, man, and you're sitting straight up.
Right.
I don't have to get behind you and do any repositioning at all.
I know.
Maybe I got to fix your sweater a little bit and tuck that down because you kind of come down on the back of the chair.
Yeah.
But that's easy. So the first thing I do now is before I take anything off, I'm going to reach for the seatbelt because I want you to stay in that position. So I've got you there. Okay, and I reach around. And look at that. Nice, easy to get on. Got a little bit of room there even. So now I can take the thigh support on the right side. And I'm not even really lifting the leg. It's just gently sliding it out like this, pulling it towards the middle of the leg, laying it down like so. Lift up Stumpy. A little bit on that side. Okay, and now when I want to remove the cups away from him, I don't want to pull straight out because it's uncomfortable for him for me to do that, and they don't come out easy because they're curved. So I'm going to curve it around, pull it out in the curved way. So I'm going to go left out and then the right side out. And here it is.
Very well done.
Out. And I want